Thanks for coming over to the channel. I'm just on the Tryhackme lab using my last day before my subscription expires, going over some networking core protocols. It's a pretty good lab, but they've got quite a few different exercises in here. One of the things that I just wanted to cover was one of the commands that they were showing in here was tshark, which is basically wireshark from the command line. Allows you to analyze and capture packets and then take a look at those packets from the command line, which can be useful. So I just want to give an example of what they show here as far as resolving some different host names or some different websites, and then you can go ahead and look the NS lookups up in your packet capture. So go ahead and bring that up over here. And first thing I'm going to do is install tshark with the sudo apt install tshark. And then that's going to go ahead and get our tshark package for us. And after we do that, I'm going to go ahead and run some commands to show you how we can basically gather those NS lookups and then look up those IP addresses that are associated with our host names in a packet capture. So as an example of that, we're going to go ahead and start our packet capture from the interface that we're going to need to utilize, which is going to usually our ENS5 is what it's usually. They have quite a few interfaces, but typically we want to use the ENS5. So once this is done downloading, I'll go ahead and run the ifconfig-a, and then we can confirm that that's the correct interface. So yeah, that's the interface we want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and start this command, the tshark capture command, and then we're just doing -i for our interface, and then the ENS5 and the -w to write that to a pcat file. So go ahead and kick that off. And then I'm going to start another terminal session here, and then I'm just going to do a few NS lookups. Look up NS lookup, say Bank of America. And then just do another one, say NS lookup abc.com. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and end our packet capture. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and analyze that pcat for those IP addresses that were resolved in our NS lookups. So I'll go ahead and bring this window over here. And then we're just going to search for the DNS entries only in our pcat by doing this command here with the tshark-r, name of our pcat-n, and then the pipe to grep DNS. So that's going to show us the entries or all of the records that we looked up as far as the A, or in this case, that's an IPv6 record, which we're not interested in. That was just something that was captured in going out to an Amazon web server, possibly what this is hosted on. So first thing we're going to see is our 9news query that we ran. So for instance, scroll down here, and then we're going to see our 9news and those A records that it resolved to, the two IPs that they have. And then we got the Bank of America just down here a little bit more, and then it's going to show their DNS IP addresses, the 171s. So we see those two here in our pcat file, which is kind of cool. And then lastly, the ABC one that we did as well. That's down here with these addresses. Quite a few. They have quite a few, some good redundancy on their side for those. And then if you ever wanted to get more information on a particular server and how it's set up in the, I think it's statement of authority or something, you could do an abc.com dig on that, and that's going to also give you that information. It's just another way of getting it, which is kind of convenient. One of the other things I wanted to go over was just in this lab is I thought was kind of cool was the not this one here. That one was kind of cool, but the FTP, I guess, was kind of cool to see how we go about following this, like they show in here, this TCP stream to see all of the different files that we're transferring via the FTP server that's set up in this environment. So basically, we're going to get these different files on here, and we're going to download different files from the FTP server in ASCII mode as opposed to binary. So let's capture our target IP that's running our different services, like our IMAP server, POP3, and FTP server. And then we're going to go ahead and FTP to that. And then once we get into this with anonymous and no password, we're just going to type dir like we do, or you could type ls to get the same thing. It's actually both, which is kind of cool on an FTP server. And if you ever want to see what different commands you can run in an FTP server, you could type help, type binary if you want to switch to binary, which is default, or type ASCII to type, let's say switch to ASCII, in which case we're going to do here. And then we're going to go ahead and start our wireshark, and then we're going to follow this TCP packets, and we're going to see how that works from a wireshark perspective. Go ahead and start this packet capture on the same interface, and then I'm just going to start to basically download these files with a git file. So I'm going to type git coffee.txt, and that's going to transfer it from the FTP to our local system. And then one of the things that we can do to follow that, let's see if we can find that in here. I'll just go ahead and use this method instead. And then I'm just going to search for the file that we downloaded, which is the coffee.txt. Hope I spell it right. And then once we've got that request, we can go ahead and follow this conversation here. So I'm going to say right click and then follow, and then TCP stream. And then that's going to bring up everything that we're doing as far as from the FTP perspective and what we're transferring. It's not going to, I don't believe it's going to show it in real time. If somebody happens to know how to do that, let me know in the comment section. But we're going to go ahead and transfer the rest of these files over to our local system. So just type git flag.txt, git t.txt. And then when you want to get back to your system, you can just type explanation point, and that's going to take you to the same directory that you came from. And then we're going to have all of our files here, and they're going to be listed at the bottom. And then we can basically run this filter again, and then it should show us all of those. As far as that stream here, it should show us all of the files that we transferred. It looks like I might have clicked on the wrong one, so let's double find that coffee one here. So there's you could see that this has the actual text in there as far as what was in that text file, which is kind of cool. You could probably export that in a more friendly format to see that in a more standard format that's not going to look so bad with all of the packets like that. But let's find that first one in our stream here and see if we can get all that. I'll go ahead and stop that capture because it's gonna see. I'll type do the T instead. So there we can see that's the more friendly format that's going to show you that uh, exactly how the text is that we had transferred, which is pretty cool. So that's a different way to see how the text that you had transferred over in Wireshark. Kind of surprised just came about that. So anyways, that's a nice way to find that information. And then one of the last things I wanted to do here was basically go in and let's see, one other thing I was going to possibly do in this stream is go in and show you how we can capture this traffic for the SMT, not SMTP. Yeah, I think that was what it was. Let me pull that one up here. So that's a file transfer, shows us the text was transferred over from the Wireshark side. Um, this POP3 is kind of cool. So if we wanted to connect to our POP3 server, then we can basically find this user's password that we input through there in a Wireshark capture. So I'm going to go ahead and save this Wireshark capture here. I'll just say FTP, save that one and start a new one and get rid of that filter. So then I'm going to go ahead and telnet to our system on port 110, which is the POP3 server. Let's see here, grab that one up here. And it's pretty well explained in this lab, but anyways, once you connect to our POP3 server, we're going to run some commands, and this is going to basically, we're going to capture this user's username and password in our Wireshark capture there and see how we can find that password and username. So first thing we're going to do is type the user, and then it's going to be Linda, and then the password is going to be PA $123, and then we're in our POP3 server. You could type different commands to get at the service, different email messages that were listed on this, and then if you type our, like they mentioned in the lab, if you wanted to retrieve that message, you would just type that. So anyways, now we're going to go ahead and find Linda's password in our packet capture with the Control F. And then I'm just going to type pass, or first I'm going to type user in our string here. So we see our user here. We've got Linda, and then if we wanted to see what her password is, we're just going to type pass, and then that's going to show us her pass right there. So anyways, it's a couple different ways to go about using Wireshark and tshark to analyze your packet captures and gather additional details and actually see the text files, the embedded text file that was transferred over in the packets, which was from an FTP server. So hopefully these things are helpful in your line of work and being able to analyze things from different perspectives. Hoping to get a few more labs in before tomorrow, because otherwise I don't think I'm going to be able to renew my subscription right now. So hope everyone's having a good one, and make sure you take it real easy. All right, bye.